Sourdough educational video number 3. Today we are going to answer a question from Ambi Bampi. She's struggling with the texture of the bread once it's baked. Her bread turns out to be gummy, so let's see what's the possible cause of gummy bread. By the way, I just finished a workshop here in Salisbury, a food connect shed, and one of the questions was actually one of the students was making bread and the breadcrumb was gummy. So I covered today this question. So let's see. Gummy bread can be due to many factors. First of all, underproofing or overproofing. Both way will result in a gummy texture. And why? Underproofing, the bacteria hasn't weakened the gluten enough, and overproofing it will deteriorate the gluten too far, and the bread will result gummy as well. But this is one of the possible solutions. Another cause could be the high hydration. If you don't handle properly the bread, if you don't fully bake your bread with a high hydration, can cause gummy texture. It can be due to not a gluten that is well formed. So executing the proper stretch and fold will be essential for making the texture and the crumb just right. Okay, so if you don't develop the gluten enough, the gluten net, doing the proper stretch and fold, it will result in gummy bread. Also, the choice of flour. If you're using rye flour, for example, absorb more water, retain more water, like also semolina does, the bread will tend to be a little bit more gummy. So make sure you're using the right flour for the right fermentation. So you need to nail every factor. Baking, another factor that will affect the crumb. Obviously, if you bake not long enough, it will be dense and gummy. But also, if you slice the bread too quickly, you need to wait at least a couple of hours. That's the perfect time to allow the bread temperature to reach room temperature, and that's the best time to slice your bread. The starches needs to set, and if you slice too early, it will be sticky to your bread knife. You don't want that. You need to be patient and wait. Just recap how to avoid gummy bread. So, fermentation right, not underproofed, not overproofed. This depends on the recipe, on the hydration, on your sourdough starter, depends from everything. I have a very straightforward process with a short bulk fermentation, 20 hours cold fermentation, and that's nailed the fermentation. Also, you need to handle properly, so you need to make the proper stretch and fold technique, and slicing when it's the right time, 2 hours wait. Also, the hydration, make sure you 80%. See, if you're just starting out, I would go 75% hydration with high extraction flour, or even 70% if you use refined flour. I highly suggest to use stone grounded high extraction flour. That's what I use for my bread. Make sure you add a little bit of rye, but not too much, because rye absorbs a lot of water, so you will need to adjust the recipe. My method, short bulk fermentation, as I said, and 20 hours cold fermentation. Every single factor affects the result. That's why sourdough baking, it's an art, okay? So we need to handle and in the proper way and nail everything to have a beautiful bread. But don't be discouraged if you're trying and you're not getting there. You just need to experiment. Review all the points that I've done. Hopefully this video helped Ambi Bampi getting a nice texture. Okay, Belly? I'll see you on the next question. Ciao, Belly.